Hello, big beautiful world. Today we're going up in the S29, the Stirling. Okay, so this is just dropped from Virtavia, I believe they are. I hadn't heard of this crew before. And for 40 bucks Oz, 25 euros, not to detract from where the cats are coming from, but it's a bit of a mixed bag. So you get the weathering and the oil staining, as you can see across there, the exhaust staining. You get kind of mixed amounts of weathering across it all. No air cooling on the Brownings. So, and we know this isn't a Warbird sim, so we're a little bit forgiving of all of that stuff. But the general shape holds true, very good. Not a whole bunch of details for the undercarriage. No brake lines. No brake sensors or anything like that. And it's odd that they've released the Stirling to kick it off with. This is based around the B1236, which saw entries from 11 players back around 1936-37. Excuse me. Vickers Supermarine got the closest. In fact, this wasn't meant to be released, the Stirling. It was to play second fiddle to the Stirling, to the Supermarine 316, if my memory serves me well. Another 4 engine. So Supermarine could have had 2 classics during the Second World War, or 3 if you include the Seafire, or 4 if you include the Seafang. But yeah, Supermarine wasn't only building fighters, it had put forth the 316 for the B1236 Air Ministry specification, 4 engine bomber. Now, one of the things you'll notice about this is, in spite of the immense size, this is the first of the big 4, yeah? So the first of the big 4 engine bombers. You see the wingspan, it's a bit dodgy, incredibly short. Now, clocked in at 100 feet, and unfortunately this is the one great failing of the aircraft. Otherwise it held up really well. I mean, its specs were solid, it got along at a decent clip. The wing itself is a modified Sunderland wing. It is a short aircraft after all, Short Brothers. And the idea being that part of the B1236, I don't know if it was genuinely specified, but most historians allude to it as being a kind of prerequisite for the B1236 specs, and that was that it fits into the existing hangars, who had a door width of about 112 feet. So they built this sucker to be 100 feet on the span, and probably it's one great failing, because it then had to rely on higher load, higher lift, sort of greater ratio of power for the lift that it was trying to attain, so therefore it lost out because it would have to constantly sacrifice speed in order to maintain its height, and there are a few failings. However, like I said, this is a mixed bag. You do get the wing bombs, you do get the undercarriage bombs, you get a range of goodies. So here we are back in the cockpit. I'll just see if we can yeah, cool. Okay, so you don't get many cockpit options, for argument's sake. 3, 4, and I'm just running through them on my joystick. So there's no calibration for the back, although you do get the nav position, combination of PBR and soft texturing, as you can see back there, just 2D. So yeah, it's up to debate whether it's worth the bucks, but I've taken her up and around, I've taken her on a circuit and managed to bring her back down without killing myself once. And I'm awfully grateful. I had to do a bit of remapping on the engines, because I believe, so I think I've got, yeah, 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 coming off my X56 twin throttle, because it was only mapped for the 2 engines on the X56, which is unusual because every other aircraft has the 4 engines mapped, 1, 2, 3, etc. So, that being said, what did I want to show? Oh yeah, I wanted to show you this. Okay, so we'll hop out and we'll just knock the drone camera down a bit. Cool. We'll come in. So there we go. There's our door, our crew door, which is kind of nice. The rest of it's a bit blanked off, as you can see. The bombs. There's that combination of 2D, 3D I was talking about. Alright, so it's a weird mixed bag. My guess is Virtavia, if I had to guess, have been working on it a lot like the pilot's crew of the Clipper, because the Clipper was announced a couple of years back, and seeing the reviews coming in already, and of course I do believe with all my heart the pilot's team will take the Clipper 314 and constantly improve on it. I'm hoping the Virtavia crew might do the same with this, because they've started out with the Stirling job, just feels slightly unfinished in a lot of ways. But okay, so let's close that puppy up and see if we can open the bomb base. So let me have a look. Bomb bay doors. We're just going to hop out again and see what happens. There we go. There we go. All complete. So it's a decent enough bomb load for the day as well. That whole 1920s, 1930s obsession with the wing loaded bombs, internals, very interesting. And it would be reintroduced by the RAF for the Buccaneer, of course, with the rotating internal bomb bay after the war. But you know, prior to that you had the Stirling. I believe the Wellington had strange kind of basket, what looked like drop tanks, but in fact they were just bomb canisters. So it was a fairly common design back in the day. We'll shut those puppies up and we'll just get it started up. So we've already got our fuel cocks open. Hide our joys for a minute. Cool. Chuck the booster on for 1. Now I know that the order shouldn't be 1, 2, 3, 4, but for the sake of convenience, I am going to do that. So mags on. Don't have our master on. Of course we don't. There we go. Master's on. All good. Let's see if she starts. Here's intéressant. Okay, so we've got the booster on. Hang on. Have we got 4? There we go. Do need a bit of juice in it, don't we? Do the big old Hercs. I think there's 1650 Hercules. There we go. So we let her run up. Let her settle back down. Idle of about 600, so a little higher than I was expecting. I was expecting around the 550 mark. Yeah, 550, 600. Yeah, cool. We'll do the same for 2, 3, and 4. So as you can see, a bit soft. So here's another cool feature that I really do like, actually. 1, 2. See if I can get back high enough to look around. 3. Cool, so you've got your options there. Oh, done it again. Sorry, just trying to adjust the stabilizer tracker. Get that bucket back down. Okay. So when you hear it internally, you hear that it's fully muted. Same on both sides. We'll get 3 and 4 started up. There we go. So nice start on 3. Our mags are on. So this is 4 good donks, 4 good engines. We're looking good. We're around 120 for the boost. We can bring the mags on. We can bring the boosters off. Alright, let's get her up in the air. Actually, we should shut up a few windows first, shouldn't we? Cool. Cool. Okay, so like I said, it's a strange combination of, you know, good and not so great. Yeah, like I said, my only real concern is that it's a bit of a work in progress by the feel of it, but it feels really good. So it kind of does give a squinched up view. That could just be my Tobii eye tracker though, to be honest. It does give a slightly distorted perspective, and it certainly makes that Junkers 52 look very small. But she is a big bird. See how she sounds on the throttle up. Cool. We're bringing her around. This is the RedWings Croydon 1935. So we just take her up for a circuit and bring her back down. And I guess this is about as close as I'll ever get to giving a review on anything. Because I was surprised. I'm glad it dropped out of the blue. I know I've got the Lank on the horizon. I was hoping, you know, being the geekoid World War II freak that I am, that we might even see the Halifax. Oh heck, don't get me started on the aircraft I'd like to see from this era. But that'd give us a big three. You know, maybe the Wimpy, the Wellington. So many cool aircraft. Anyway, we'll give ourselves a notch of flats. Cool. And we'll just bring her around. So you do have differential braking. Cool. And we are going to lock you up. See if we can get up into the airplane. Open up the throttles. We've given ourselves a notch on the flaps. I think it's only a 10 degree out. Oh, not sure what that's all about. We're going to take that as a little bit of a lumpy. So fairly sedate on the takeoff, and we're away. In an Indian summer afternoon, I've overridden taken the live weather preset, the live weather out to give it I think it's an Indian summer or UK summer, one of the two for the presets. So we're up to around 1,000 a minute. Very good. 80 on the climb, which is good. What we wanted. Quite manoeuvrable. It does feel like she's got some inertia to her, which feels nice. So all in all, the flight model, I really like the flight model. I think it feels really good. But yeah, you can see it's got that whole P3D thing kind of happening, or that strange combination. You do have down here, you got your nav lights, you've also got your kind of rudimentary autopilot, which I haven't poodled about with. This is just a quick one, you know, a circuit to see how she behaves. But like I said, a strange mix, a melange of the old and the new. And do I regret it? Grabbing it? No, not really. I think it's pretty cool, and the flight sim, but like I said, I would like to see an improvement in these areas. Hopefully we'll see a few new skins for it as well, so that we can, you know, it did tend to share pretty much the same livery throughout, even as a glider tug as late as 1944-45 for Market Garden and Varsity. Primarily, you know, the Dark Earth and the RAF Green over. Of course, in the latter stages of the war in 44-45, it did have the D-Day stripes on it, but prior to that, when it was used as a night bomber. So let's pop the arm and have a look. gets the dumpy look right and that depth right. Like I say, I would have liked to have seen better textures on the brownings and stuff like that. But I'm being probably a little bit precious about it all. Because I know, I think I said I really feel for teams like Virtavia and the pilot's crew who created the Clipper, and my guess is they would have started work a couple of years ago, and of course we've come a very long way in a short space of time. Let's see if we can gently bring the undercarriage down. Wait until we've got 3 in the green, and we're good. Well, 2 in the green technically, aren't we? Yeah. I don't think it's got a retractable. Oh yeah, retractable tail wheel. Give ourselves another notch of flaps. She gets along at a big clip. We want to kind of bring her across the threshold at 80 knots, so she's got a bit of speed on her. We've only got the 2 stages of flaps to work with, which is cool. Going to be interesting. Come in a little too shallow. We shall see, we shall see. Down, just let it settle. Stick all the way back. Tapping the brakes gently. Tapping the brakes gently. So we don't see too many variations on the pressure drop. We see it going back up a little bit. Okay, so that's the long and the short of it. The short of it, I just made a joke. That's pretty crap, that joke really, isn't it? So this is the new Short Stirling, S29. B1236 as the old Air Ministry spec went. It would be very cool to see if they ever do the Supermarine 316, but that will be asking for a miracle. Look, we're just going to pull up here and we'll shut it down. Cool. Come in. And that, beautiful people, big beautiful world, is about it. Alright, big beautiful world, stay safe, stay sane. Hope you dug that. I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya. Bye.